Hi guys, just out for a very wonderful run. When I run here, because this is where I'm from, this is where I grew up, I get very tuned into nature as I always do when I run, but as with all human beings, as I'm running along, things remind me of my past, of the memories I had, and it's just something important I find. Of course, the past is part of who you are, and the future is part of who you'll be. But you'll never control the past and with the future until you learn to control the present moment. So I can run all I want and think about the past and plan my future, but very little of it will be pleasing to I when I contemplate it unless I learn to be here and now in the present moment. Because it's only from controlling the now that you have any say in what your past will be. It's only in controlling the now you can have any control over what your future can be. Not to say you will have complete control, because that is not what life's about. On the contrary, life's about the opposite. It's about having faith and letting go and allowing that which you were born to be manifest through you without complaint, without distraction, without addiction, and without your emotional attachments and emotions getting in the way. To some degree, it was said, you must let go of what you are for what you can become. And for some degree, this is absolutely true. You can't let go of everything. You can't let go of the love for your family, the love for your friends. But you can let go of your desires, and you can let go of the dreams that come from here. Because if your dreams come from here, in this society that we live in now, chances are they've been planted in some way artificially by the artificial light that we consume. This is truth. This is your reality. All of this here. Those who manage to fragment this reality and create technology to beam into your room, they know that this is truth and this is the creative space by which we can invent, we can create, we can plan. But if you're very rarely in this light and you're in their light that they've controlled using their technology, that false light reality as I call it, then you're always going to be pursuing dreams influenced by that reality. And when that reality is not for the best interest of us with popular culture and cultural Marxism, then we should always unplug to find our truest dream so as our heart can roar above our ego. Because if our heart can be louder than our ego, you've cracked it. Now, as I'm running around, as I say, I have memories here. And some of them are very beautiful memories and I welcome them. But some of them are very sad memories. Many of you know my past, and there's no need for me to discuss it, but I've suffered depression in this area of the world. I struggled deeply with it. I was very lonely, very disconnected from the feeling I feel now. But if I go too much into those thoughts and feelings, without going into them to learn or to accept, and I go into them with an emotional attachment and churn up past emotions, the creative force I am today, I say as humbly as I can, that has created at the behest of God and at the command of God, all that I have in Tanzania would not exist. And if we can't let go of those past memories and emotional attachment, the origin of the word sin actually is to dwell in emotion. If you can't let go of that, you will dwell in sin. And if you dwell in sin, you can't be the God force that you are born to be. You can't live out your destiny. You can't do as God hopes for you to do. For He can't get through this maze of the ego, of the memories, of the anticipation, of the desires, of the emotional pains and attachments. He can't get through to sing the song from your heart that almost becomes, it's like Donnie Darko a little bit, the movie, where the song comes out and you have to follow it. You have to. And again, I ran for an hour here in nature, not seeing one person. It's a very populated area of the world. No people. I've seen nobody on my run, not even someone walking a dog, because they're plugged into the wrong reality. And on hot sunny days like this, I know from when I lived here, everybody's gone to the beer garden, everybody's drinking in their gardens, which is fine, you can socialise with friends and family. But this focus around alcohol is not a societal norm. For here it's a societal norm because of this false light media creating this popular culture. This is how I perceive it. And if I go back to the man I was when I was living that way, I had no belief in myself. If I could come back in time and wait here for my former self to come walking past here, myself from 8 years ago, say, and I told him, I'm you from the future and this is what you're going to do, he wouldn't have believed he could. And it makes me really sad that other people are out there not realising what they are able to do, not believing in what they are capable of, because they've never been allowed it inside this society. And if that man, a young man who was walking through here 7 years ago, feeling lost, wandering through here 13 years ago, 14 years ago, contemplating taking his life, I see him as a construct of being plugged into that system. And for all I became liberated, and for all it was I, and I speak of him in a very strange way as if it's not I, he didn't believe that he could do it. But if he can do it, reverse 14 years, I was walking this area, contemplating, wondering what to do, and feeling suicidal. And he didn't believe he could do it. And that is rock bottom. So if you're somewhere above that level, and you're feeling downtrodden and you can't do it, you can. Because I was just a guy from a part of England where there's news reports saying that the next village along is becoming a ghost town because it's all boarded up, and part of England where people are big on drugs, and part of England where you grow up in small terraced houses that are really not adequate for a family. And I can do what I've done, and everybody else can do it. But you can only do it when you let go of that reality up there that everyone's indulging in through the TV or through the nightclubs right now. Because when you take all that out, you can make space for God. And God won't come into a house that's filled with that nonsense. How can he work through you when you're too busy dancing with the devil on a weekend? So yeah, I'm going to get off before I cool down too much. If you're struggling to believe you can do it, you can. You can do whatever you want to do, within reason. Can't all be the president. There's only one slot. But what you can do is your highest good, and from there will come your highest joy. And that's available to all of us in some which way, shape or form. It's available to everybody. But you've got to unplug. You've got to attune yourself. You've got to let go of the past and start controlling it by being here and now. Because by controlling the way the boat steers, you control the direction of the wake behind you. Here and now will give you the memories you want and a future close to that which will make your heart be as fulfilled as possible. God bless, guys. Bye.
Give, always give what you can, even if your eye lost your lines in the sand. And dig, always dig a little deeper. Sometimes it's hard to be my brother's keeper. Love, so you let love in. Baby, I am home in the wake of your skin. And it's crazy how we wear a ceremony. Always be open to your path and your journey, yes. She cradles my loneliness, our home, let her for its nest. Universal test, feel the weight of my love, put your hand on my chest and rest. In the cradle of my arms, the battle that we face is the place where our scars come from. And to pick up the gun, my love, we are destined to teach these ones to be brave and never run away. Courage is birthed from the womb on the first light of day. The day you were born, you came out perfect, never meant to be torn in silence. Never been so loud in the violence, never been so proud of a people. When we're fighting for a change, not afraid to lose it all despite all the